Welcome, everybody, and Board Talks on Tuesdays. And I'm Barbara Solomon, and I'm here with Julie Stone, Chelsea Richens, Mary Chase, and our guests, Durin Jessler, Renee Sugar, Anka, and Gordy. And Louis Therese is trying to join us. It looks like she just got knocked off, but hopefully she'll be back. And uh, just from an email I saw recently, we started talking about just what we do, how we can stay in touch with our true nature, and thought that we would bring that up as a topic today for conversation. So we'll be here for about a half an hour, and I was telling Julie, Chelsea, and Mary that I have been kind of doing voicemail chats back and forth with our old friend Katharina from Germany, and we were talking about reconnective healing and how we have kind of become so aware of it as part of our nature. And just that awareness I find is so helpful because it helps me to really um, remember, my true essence. And since yesterday afternoon, until this morning, actually, I was feeling a little bit of a kind of a low grade anxiety around some social stuff that's been going on. And I would stop and, just kind of recenter myself. And after having this wonderful conversation with her, which was just back and forth, we weren't even talking together, but we'd be leaving messages for each other. And just that connection and the reminder that this is us. And I just feel so much more grounded now, and have been able to release. I mean, just like it's dissolved away. So I just wanted to bring this up and let everybody share about, what do you do to kind of, remember that awareness in your connection.
Well, um, I I like how you brought that up about Katerina saying that she just so much more in default, her default state is in what we kind of label the reconnective healing frequencies. And I find myself like that a lot of the time. And, I attend a lot of the training programs, and it's always cute when I see the interaction where people feel like they're kind of entrained with the frequencies and they feel like they leave them. And I feel like it's kind of a delusion that you actually leave them, but uh, it, it's a nice place to be. And um, I was thinking about this topic, and I was thinking, are we aware we leave them, or are we more aware we're in them? Like, what I think it's all about the word awareness. And are we aware we're not kind of at balance, or are we more aware we are in balance? And one thing that I kind of noticed over my interactions this weekend at a family gathering is that I catch myself kind of out of balance sometimes during interactions with other people. And then I'm like, wait a minute, Chelsea, that's not really where you need to be. That comment you just made was not really quite right. But I was thinking, what a gift it is to have this human experience where we are interacting, because it it's our little training ground of of opportunities to see where we are personally inside ourselves.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, Mary.
Uh, I find that I sometimes forget that I can connect or be in or live in the frequencies. Somehow it's as if I have stepped out. When I watch the news, for example, and the catchphrase I have on my website is you don't have to be miserable. And we don't. And as soon as I'm miserable, I have to remember that that's an illusion. Everything that's pushed me or triggered me is not real. And I do some daily practices. I always read the Course in Miracles every day, and I'm kind of spiritually kind of ADHD. I kind of explore a lot of different things. I watch the interviews on YouTube. Buddha at the Gas Pump is one of my favorites because he's interviewing people who are growing spiritually. They're not necessarily famous, although sometimes they are. But I'm just trying to keep, I won't even say pushing myself, but just expanding those horizons of what spirituality can mean and how it helps me to live in a place of love.
Yeah, I like that. That's beautiful. And that's one of the things that Catherine and I were kind of agreeing on, is that it's knowing that we are the frequencies, and a lot of the terminology stepping into or being aware of and stuff, it's like, yeah, that's just opening our mind of what we truly are. But and sometimes it's hard to stay there. I know years ago when I was first really getting into this, I would put on my calendar on my phone, reminders every day, and I did them at different times during the day, so it doesn't become that routine that you ignore it, but it'd just be like, be aware, and stop and oh, okay, yeah. And then it became more of a routine and more of a habit for me to be able to be mindful until it becomes just easier to get there, because go Juice.
No, I was waiting for you to finish. I just wanted to say, Mary, that I can totally relate to how you say you fall out of it, or you don't. That happens to me a lot, and as far as just sitting down every now and then and and allowing yourself to rebalance, however that is. I mean, for me, sometimes it's just telling myself to receive, but I believe it's all about awareness, because we're never out of the frequencies. I mean, we're always living in the frequencies. We're not always bringing our awareness there. And I forget how easy it is to do that. And for me, I don't have an everyday practice except for walking my dog and outside. And so that to me is very beautiful, because it's pretty around here. And as you can see, the picture in the back, that's the sky. It's beautiful clouds all the time and sky. And the other thing too is, for example, I've been sick, and so I wasn't online. I missed a couple of Solomon Speaks, and I listened to the last one yesterday, and I don't know who here was there on the last Solomon Speaks, but it was just Eric. And it was so wonderful, and it just sort of put me back, helping me put myself back in balance, and reminded me of things, because he talked about a lot of different things, and we didn't really go through the chapter. He got into all sorts of other things, and it just made me feel good afterwards. I needed it. So yeah.
Yeah, Julie, I agree that Solomon Speaks with Eric last week, where he really sort of expanded on the concept of, not needing a technique, and how I feel like not needing a technique is powerful for me because I can get into the frequencies faster. Mm-hmm. All I have to do is, Chelsea, you brought this up, is at any given moment, ask myself, so am I uncomfortable as a way to remember that I can be in the frequencies, or am I comfortable as a way to remember that I'm in the frequencies? And discomfort gets my attention, as it does for all of us. And gosh, so many things to share. And honestly, you know, I wouldn't be sharing anything that anybody hasn't already said today here, except it would just be saying it in a different way. But one thing I wanted to bring up was the concept of just uncomfortable people. And sometimes I like to call them damaged people, or call us damaged. But I like uncomfortable better because I think it's more gentle. And sometimes my question is, so how do I receive myself when I'm uncomfortable, whether it's anxiety or physical pain? And then how am I receiving other people when they're uncomfortable? Like in Chelsea's situation that she shared last week, where, you know, she was working for someone who was quite uncomfortable.
The way of putting it.
And for me, the habit has become, well, the story of my life, it's always been physical pain, just little physical discomforts, and it's much less now. But when that discomfort comes, and like Katerina was saying, it can become automatic to just say, oh, the frequencies are here too. The frequencies are here too. Let me ask them what they're doing here, because that's what the pain is for. And it's always, the answer is pretty much always the same, which is, oh, there's a sharp pain. That means perfection is even more perfect expressing, right? Even in that little spot, and on every subject in my life that I could possibly have imagined. And just always having that same response over and over again, it makes me laugh. Because I can look back, and every single time I have that response, I forget about the pain, and 15 minutes later it's gone, and then I laugh.
Oh gosh, that is a beautiful way of dealing with it. That's that's so nice. And I'm going to read a comment that Gertie wrote because he's not able to join us, and it kind of fits in with what the last couple conversations, or the last couple topics that people have been bringing up. It seems difficult to live in the toggled state until a negative situation arises that reminds you not to react and just be. And that's kind of what it sounds like what you were saying, Doreen, as far as just when, you get that pain and it's like, oh, wait a second, I'm just going to settle into this and allow it. And yeah, that's just a beautiful way to handle stuff. Yeah. Because you're right, Chelsea, or whoever was saying, it's a gift being here, and our individual experiences that contain both joy and sorrow, ecstasy and pain, and just navigating through that is part, I think, of what it's all about. And just taking a moment to just remember that we are, we are, and that helps. That really helps.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And another thing I've noticed is the better you get at this, the easier or more effortless it is to receive uncomfortable other people. I don't like the word other, but that's all we have right now. The discomfort in somebody else's space. It becomes more effortless, because just yesterday I had a friend who, she was really mad about something, and she couldn't stop talking about how mad she was about this. And I was just receiving it in a way that probably would have made her madder, because and when she was done, I did share, that the invitation, because she talks this talk as well, and we all get mad and we need to vent. But I just was really proud of myself, the way I shared my receivership of her anger, and she appreciated it and she got it. And she said, but I still needed to be mad. It's just really good practice to not, like the way Chelsea did with her, again, with the dog sitting experience. you're just receiving that other little, that universe, and it just makes you better. Like, you know, it's like, oh, I got better at this.
Yeah. And so with your friend and her expressing of her emotions, was your part of it mostly kind of a listening thing? And not
Yeah,
really
you
a
know,
fixing, but just a listening?
exactly. It had nothing to do with me. She was having an experience with someone, a couple people, and it wasn't just me. There was like two other folks, and the three of us were just receiving her anger, um, and we like to practice that kind of thing. And it was definitely the experience of not being, um, let's see, how do we put it? Just being the listener, not the participant A or participant B, but participant C, who's just observing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Sometimes it's nice just to be able to hold space for somebody and just be there, you know, non-judgmental, not, and like you say, not trying to fix, which for me is a little bit hard, but I'm working on it and I'm getting better at that. But yeah, it's just, and realizing that everybody is, it's not, I mean, this is not the situation you were dealing with yesterday, but sometimes, you know, even if somebody is attacking you personally, like what happened with you, Chelsea, last week, it's not really having to take it personally, because you know that there's a lot more to it than this little situation, and it's a bigger thing, and it's not really even about me. It's about kind of wherever you are at, and yeah, I'll just, you know, deflect. And you know, I mean, your friend got angry and she wanted to vent, and that's part of the human experience too. I mean, that's,
Mhm.
you know, that happens. So
Feel those feelings. Doesn't matter what they are. Just feel
right.
them first. Feel them first. Just feel, feel. And then go, where's the frequencies?
We are.
Yeah, because you don't want to stay there. I mean, you don't want to get stuck. You know, that's
No.
the thing. Allow yourself to experience it and then move on, you know. But I was thinking just now, Barbara, when you were talking that and I guess I speak for myself, is it's really nice sometimes if you're venting or you're talking about something, to have someone just listen, you know, and acknowledge that they're listening or that they understand what you're saying, and you know, maybe a one or two comments or something. Oh yeah, I understand. Oh wow, okay, you know. But it's nice to be on that end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's
one thing I said to her, because it was so, like, this was like a big anger for her. And one of the first things I said when she was done was, I said, congratulations on that experience. You had an experience. Welcome to humanity. So it kind of broke things up, because she talks the language and she knew what I meant. I couldn't say that to just anybody.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to have
So
a sense of humor. I mean, you know,
you do.
yeah, somebody might get mad at that, but
Oh
it's
yeah, I wouldn't say that to just anybody.
Yeah.
And that's her example of just being able to step back from it, you know. I mean, it just, you know, experiencing it, and then when you said that, she's like, oh yeah, yeah. So, which is good.
There's an old strategy in selling cars. Um, when the customer is saying, "Oh, yeah," the salesman has a strategy. I know how you feel. I felt that way once myself, but I found that
right.
is the feel felt found. Um, you know, I know how you feel about Toyotas. Felt that way once myself, but I found, you know,
Oh, that's good, Mary.
yeah, I don't know. I think we've all been where those people are. And we go there sometimes ourselves. And we just have to honor not only our experience, but theirs. And we know that everyone arrives at a reaction because of a variety of forces in their lives, a variety of experiences and memories. It's not good to stay there, but we see it in each other, and just listening, I think, is so good. You don't have to listen forever, but just letting people talk it out is maybe a way of showing them a daily practice. For example, they might write it in a journal instead, or paint a picture of it. But everybody has to negotiate with the experiences that come to them, and the better we get at just stepping back or observing or whatever. But none of us started out that way.
I think we probably started out that way, but then it was trained out of us, if I'm thinking the same
Well,
thing you are.
that's probably true.
Right. But one of the things that I'm learning is to really be in touch with myself, my feelings, my, what's deep there and what's it really saying. And then when I find that I am feeling uncomfortable, then I can say, okay, now what could I do to make myself feel better? And just usually it's, okay, let's just go into my inner soul. I am love, and just kind of that dissolves a lot of the tension with me. So, Anka, go ahead.
Hello. What do you do? I'm not so well. I have an experience that made me in a bad position right now because I was at Black Sea in Bulgaria at um gold. I don't know how was the name of the place right now, but I feel drained by a person, and I don't know how to react. And because that energy I don't understand, and I don't know how to put myself in a positions of safety because it felt like a energy of vampire. So bad was to me. And before to go there, I had a premonition with that one, and I met her there, and after I talked with you last last time on Tuesday at night, I felt very scared because freaky energy, and I think that was an energy of a vampire. I don't know, and I just meet a vampire. I don't know how to say, but was awful. I feel drained right now. I just wanted to say this because I just listen, and I just to be more positive. What I brought from there, it's a thing like this with the infinite, and is that and some souvenir like rocks, but other good thing from there I didn't have.
Maybe we could talk for a minute amongst ourselves about the concept of can somebody drain our energy? And in a lot of ways, I think the culture leads us to believe that that's something that can happen, but I I think we might investigate that and see, because everything is energy. You are the whole universe inside you. And I think there's a switch some people kind of at least, okay, I can only talk for myself, but I kind of no longer like subscribe to that somebody can drain me. You know what I mean?
To be
Anybody
more
else?
powerful than
It-
the feeling
you
of the
give,
scare.
yeah, it's a choice maybe to give your power away, and then maybe you can, for me, I no longer choose to allow my power to be given away or drained in any way. But I don't know, somebody else jump in and help me here on this little concept.
I've got drilling behind me, but I'll just make it quick. I think I like where you're heading, Chelsea, and I think that oh, and I'm sorry. I think it's really just holding onto your center and knowing you're knowing this, and
Right.
yeah.
Okay, I understand. To put myself in the middle and to be so powerful that nobody to touch my energy. Mm, I
But
understand, yeah.
Annika, I would want to add that I've had that experience too. And I'm very sorry, you know, to hear that you're having this. It's very common. And number one, I would invite you to not spend any time with this person until you develop the knowingness that you need to be around little universes that kind of do that, until you sort of break that pattern. And that takes time. That could take, you could take, you know,
Yes,
whatever time it
I
takes.
thank you. I blocked all the channels.
Good.
Yeah.
I,
And
I think I think also what goes along with it, nobody can drain me of my innate energy. The flip side is nobody can fill me. Nobody else outside here can fill me, and it's all a self-serve job. Yeah,
Okay,
but
And I
I
also want to
will.
add,
Sorry, I will search for some powerful words to be okay.
yeah,
and
I
my
just often,
realization, oh, sorry, Mary.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, just my realization, just because I grew up in an environment of having my energy drained, and I had people around, you know, that sort of did that consciously or subconsciously. Something really powerful to do is to be grateful. Just thank them, because they're here for your power. They're here for
I
their power, they're here for your power.
it's true that this can make me powerful, but I don't like the feeling, and
Hmm.
it's hard, and I don't want that kind of people on the earth. I don't know how to say. Maybe I am bad, but
You,
it was a powerful uh, energy, bad energy.
you know what? There's really no good energy or bad energy, I don't think. I think that basically, and we don't have any control over who's on this earth or not. So just kind of, you know, yeah, like Durin was saying, they offered you a chance of you don't feel good, you don't like feeling that way, and of course, you know, it feels bad to feel bad, but it's an opportunity for you to say, how can I feel better, irregardless of what this person's doing. I want to feel better. And that's where you go deep, you know, kind of find your center and just remember, you know, I am love. I am all that is. And just allow that to just bubble up in you. And that will help you feel better. And then what they're doing is not even that important anymore to you, because, you know, you're you.
Um,
But we
as a
have to get going because we're running over time. But, did you want to say one final thing? Go ahead.
to be protected, I washed myself with salt.
Washed your hand with what?
My head with salt, and
Oh.
add those salt in the bath.
Okay, and if that works for you, that's great. But again, it's something that's extraneous. You don't need that because you have everything that you actually need, and so you know, if that makes you feel better, that's wonderful. But If you didn't have salt, then just go with it. That's all you need to do. So
Yeah, I just want to say one thing.
okay.
That I think in life, a lot of times experiences come to us that give us an opportunity to realize that we are everything. And when you feel bad, when someone hurts your feelings, it's an opportunity to realize that it can't hurt your feelings. You can have that response. You can decide to have that response. You can say, oh, this scares me. But in fact, what you're going to learn from this and overcoming it is that you are the one who's in charge. No one can really do anything to you, not spiritually.
Okay,
That's
thank you.
beautiful. Yes. Well, great discussion today, everybody. Thanks so much. And I apologize for the noise in the background, but it was just part of the experience. So we'll see you next
you
week.
all.
And
Bye-bye.
have a great one,
Okay.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Next week, bye. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Renee. Bye, Louis Therese. Bye, Gordy.
Bye.